Hey friends, it's so good to see you. It's Thursday. That means it's time for the Tarot Topics weekly newsletter recap. So, Tarot Topics newsletter comes into your inbox every week on Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I think. I think that's what it is. So we do a different topic every week, hence the title, Tarot Topics. This week's topic is a doozy, and I cannot wait to get into it with you. My name's Christiana Gaudet. I am your Tarot Fairy Godmother, and I'm so happy to see all of you here today. Thank you so much. So, the newsletter topic, reactive, proactive, present. How did I come up with that? Well, full disclosure, I was going through this little phase of being really reactive to things. Like things were just bothering me internally. I was like, so what's up with that? So I started looking at being reactive. And I do notice in readings that there are people whose lives have been so full of difficulty and trauma that no matter what, they are always in a position of reacting to things and never able to be proactive. And I see that a lot, so I wanted to talk about that. And then in thinking about it, I realized, when we do divination, as a community, we are so often fixated on this concept of, well, let's look at past, present, future. Look, we're going to do a 9-card box, and if we divide it this way, it's past, present, future. Or here's 3 cards, past, present, future. We think about that a lot, and with good reason. But I also recognize that we can go a lot deeper with those kinds of spreads. And then I thought, well, reactive, that's about the past. Proactive, that's preparing for the future and creating the future. Present, well, that's the present. It's the same thing. So there's my whole process in putting this newsletter together. And today I want to talk about and do readings about the ways in which you're working to be proactive. Where are you being reactive? How can you stay present? Let's play with all of this and let's have some fun. All right, now let me get over to Card Cam, where you can see I am working with my trusty Wiser Tarot, which I enjoy very much, as you know. And what else do I want to say to you? Oh, duh! Tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Global Tarot Circle. It's our monthly tarot meetup online. Please do join us. The link is already up. I hope you will be there. All right, here we go. I will take these in the order in which I see them, and I thank you all so much for being here. And of course, as always, a special shout out to the members and the moderators. All right. Justine, yay, TFGM, missed you. Seeing your face is so comforting some mornings. Well, thank you so much. It is so nice to see all of you here. And thank you all. Lots of good words for the newsletter this week. Seems like not only was I being reactive, maybe it was something astrological. Maybe it was a lot of us. I don't know. All right, let's start with the first one, which is Sundial 40. Thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate you. This newsletter resonated. Good. As I spent the last week in a bit of an internet war, after I had a bad experience at a cafe and left them a poor review, which caused them to attack me on their social media. So much class there. That cafe deserved a bad review. Good God, that's terrible. So I quickly deleted the review, but now I wish I hadn't, and that I'd been strong enough to leave it. Oh man, I understand. Do the cards think I did the right thing, or do I need to get better at standing firm in my truths? So that is such a great question, and I will answer it. But I also have to say, and I'm speaking to everyone here because we've all been there, how often do we end up, and it could be an internet thing, it could be a family thing, it could be an online thing, when you have a truth to say, but if you say that truth, you're going to get bullied, and then they'll make it be like you're the bully, like you're the bad one. But the thing is, in not being able to take that criticism, they proved themselves to be just as bad as you thought they were, maybe in an entirely different way. So here you are feeling like, oh gosh, man, I let the terrorists win, right? You gave in to the bullies. And that never feels good. So what do the cards say? Did you do the right thing? You did. Because in this moment, what you really needed was peace. And you knew full well that these people are these are not people who are going to take constructive criticism, right? These are people who are going to hammer on you. And so, what's the purpose of a review? The purpose of a review is to let other people know, hey, this is a great place, or no, this is not a great place. And at the end of the day, if leaving a review is going to cause you harm because those people are going to be bullies, you did the right thing by giving them what they want. Whatever, it's fine. Now, do you also need to learn to stand more firmly in your truth? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. But do it about something that really matters. Because the fact is, you wanted to let other people beware because these people are dicks, clearly. Doesn't take psych to figure that out. And the thing is, if they're being a dick to you, they're going to be a dick to other people too. So other people are just going to have to find it out. Stand firm in your truths where it's really going to matter. And don't feel bad about giving in to this pressure because you didn't need these people to make your day bad, for the next week. You didn't need that. So I think you responded appropriately, but you will also need to work. To stand firmly in the truths that really matter. And whether a cafe is great or not is not a huge truth. It doesn't really matter. All right. You just don't have to go there again. All right, and Ben speaks to this very nicely. Ben, Libra does tarot. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member and a moderator. We appreciate you. That's usually because it's easier to blame someone else and make them the problem rather than accepting any responsibilities for their actions. Hashtag gaslighting. Damn straight. Yes. Yes. Oh, Sundial 40, thank you so much. Yeah, we're all over here. Joyous Ocean is here saying sorry you had to deal with that. We're all over here feeling for you because we know how bad that is. But it's not your fault. Not at all. Thank you so much for your kind words and thanks for being here. We appreciate you. All right. Mediha Ness, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. And thank you for using members-only emojis. And thanks for your kind words. Great newsletter. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So my sun year, this is her sun year, and it's not been too sunny recently. As you've heard me complain on almost every live, well, not quite like that, hasn't been sunny. I have been fighting to keep my positive side, hopes alive, and then I realized that's the sun card. It's positivity and enjoying all the happy feelings. My sun year has started as my fight to keep my spirit sunny. Okay, fair. What should I know about this year? How can I turn my struggle to be sunny to feel the warmth of life? I love that, and I will answer that question. But let me share something else just about the sun card in tarot. Another thing about the sun card is it's about being the light. Not only being in the light, but being the light. And being the light is not always easy. How do we know it's about being the light? Because if you look in the weight image, maybe I can find it really quick. If you look at the weight image, what we see is the sunflowers have turned to face the child rather than facing the sun as they normally would. And so what's the lesson there? The lesson, hello, am I going to be able to do this in the time I'm willing to allot? I am. There it is. There it is. So looky. The sunflowers are facing the child. Normally they would turn to face the sun. So you are asked to sit naked on a horse with no reins, no bridle. I mean, not literally. But think about how uncomfortable that must be. And think about that stance. Look, Ma, no hands. Oh my gosh. And yet we are shining so brightly, we're shining brighter than the sun. I would argue that's exactly what you've been doing. It hasn't been happy. It hasn't been pleasant. But you have made sure to shine a light where the light needed to be. And you have made sure to be that person. So I would say the sun is expressing itself in your life right now, not in the most pleasant of ways, but in the most necessary of ways. Just say. Okay, now let's do this. Let's do this reading. What should I know about this year? How can I turn my struggle to be sunny to feeling the warmth of life? Right, and that's fair. So what do you need to know about this year? This is not an easy year. It is a year of real growth for everyone in your household. And growing is never easy, and you're coming up against some difficult things. And so you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be a warrior in all of this. You can do it, and it will be fine. But how can you feel the warmth of life while you're in the middle of this? I don't know what to say about it, but I think it's really poignant that we're talking about the sun in this way, being Nessa's year card. But what we're seeing is the moon reversed and what to do here. And I don't have much to say about it, but I think it's interesting. And here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. In order to feel that warmth, things don't have to be perfect. Things don't even have to be okay. You just have to take that moment and be present in gratitude for the things that are good. And that probably is a really good practice for you this year, to just take a moment and breathe and find something to be grateful for, and there is always something. And that will help you feel that warmth, which you will need to help you be the light and shine the light in all the many ways you're going to need to do that this year. Joyous Ocean, ooh, child, that is my life. I am the sun. There you go. Oh, and Ness, the moon is coming up. Second time I asked you about the sun year and we get the moon. Right, I get it. I get it. But then what do we think about? The moon steals its light from the sun. The moon is a reflection of the sun. The moon is mysteries. The sun shines its light, right? And so I feel like part of what you're doing is shining light into the dark corners. And I think that may be why the moon is coming up, but that's never pleasant. But it's necessary. And so at least it's necessary. There is that. There is that. All right, good. Justine, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. This newsletter perfectly matches my week. Oh, gosh. Had to head back home to get a couple things straightened out this week, and it sucks feeling like I'm in limbo once again. In what ways am I being more reactive than I should be when I should be being proactive? Any advice here is appreciated. So, I mean, you're kind of reactive to everything because that's how you've been trained. Like, to get rid of that reactive posture is going to take some time. And it's not just what you've been going through in the past year. It's what you've been going through in, like, all your life. And so you are naturally reactive at this point because you have been through so much. And that's just the way it is, and you're getting through it. It's okay. It's okay. How do you need to be proactive? The best way to be proactive is to be a good friend to yourself. Like, frankly, and okay, I already sort of cracked the swear jar open today. I try to not be too crass on these lives, but inside my brain, it's pretty crass in there. And so I really apologize to anyone if my rough delivery is hard. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I feel like you're shit-talking yourself a lot. And if you were a friend to yourself, okay, if you had a friend who was shit-talking themselves, okay, you and me, we're friends. If I was shit-talking myself, you'd be like, oh, no, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Don't be like that. You know, you would try to cheer me up. You would try to get me off of thinking bad about myself and talking bad about myself to myself. That's what you would do. I know you well enough to know that, hands down. Why aren't you doing that for yourself? I think the biggest problem here is you're shit-talking yourself. And whatever's going on, I think you need to take a breath and be patient, because you will be more proactive when you are patient. So, fix the reactivity by being kind to yourself and being patient with yourself, and then you will be proactive. How's that? All right. Oh, Ness, that's such an amazing way to look at things. Okay, good. I'm glad you could hear that, because it wasn't like the happiest, easiest reading. So I'm glad you could hear that and find the value there. That's great. That's great. Okay. All right, here we go. Barbie Bird, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. And I just overscrolled. Give me a minute. Okay. Here we go. Love the newsletter. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I like your idea of past, present, and future, the spread, but I'm hoping you can incorporate the ideas of where I can learn to be proactive, where I can be less reactive, and how I can lean into the present moment and think less about the future. That's beautiful. I just love this idea of playing with that past, present, future stuff and making it more meaningful when we do spreads. We might play with that tonight in Global Tarot Circle too, if no one comes up with anything more pertinent, because it's really fun. And so, Barbie, I'm doing you in a minute. I'm just looking at Justine's feedback. Thank you. Well done. Makes a lot of sense. I'm not naturally a patient person at all. Yeah, no, fellow Scorpio, I hear you. I understand. But we still got to do it, right? All right. So, Barbie, here we go. Where can you learn to be more proactive? I think especially around the tasks that you need to do. That can be work related, but that can be just the work that you're doing in life. I think sometimes you get overwhelmed by what's on your plate, and then you feel like you can't do anything. And so I think you can be more proactive by taking the tasks that you need to do in little bite-sized chunks, and then you can move forward. So that's how you can be more proactive. Where can you be less reactive? Oh my gosh, there's so much there. And it's really tied into a lot of your emotional hurts and a lot of your emotional traumas. So the next time something comes up for you and you react, you got to do what I did. Write a newsletter. No, seriously. You got to breathe with it for a minute and you got to say, why? Why am I letting this thing bother me so much? And give yourself some grace, give yourself some space, and figure it out. You're not bad for it. Figure out what it is. Figure out why it's making you feel the way it is, and then you can fix it. Oh, Barbie, yes, I have analysis paralysis. Yeah, I do too. I get it completely. And how did you put this? This was so good. Be in the present moment and worry less about the future. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like there was a time in your life, and maybe this has to do with family dynamics in some way. I feel like there was a time in your life where you felt like everything is on you. Everything is on you, and if you don't do all of these things, bad things are going to happen. And so I feel like you've been under the gun in some ways, only you're the one now holding the gun. That was very American of me to use weaponry in my languages. I apologize for that. I feel like you are, I feel like you're like, it's good to hold yourself accountable, but like here you are present, Barbie, and it's like fearful future Barbie is coming in to say, well, if I don't do this and this and this today, then bad things are going to happen in the future. I think you could breathe more. And trust more. Trust yourself more. Trust the future more. And recognize it's not all on you. You don't have to do it all. And a lot of what you think is super, super important to your own survival, well-being, great future, whatever, probably isn't. So figuring out what's really important and what's really not. Those things might help. Oh, the Eight of Wands is really coming for you this week. Got it. I understand. I understand. There you go. All right, Julie, you're up next. Any advice for me about overthinking about past and future, right? And that's where that whole reactive, proactive thing comes in, because we're reacting to the past and we're worried about the future. And there it is. There it is. I totally get that. Yeah. So, how to get over overthinking about the past? I think you've got to give yourself the grace, recognizing in every moment you did the best you could with what you had. And yes, of course, present you would go back and do things better because you're smarter now. But with where you were at then, you did the best you could, and you got to let that go. And when it comes to things other people have done in the past, I think you have to recognize that's a reflection on them, not you. I think that would help. And when we look at the future, the overthinking the future, I think you have to trust that you're growing and learning all the time, and you'll be ready for the future, and you're doing what you can to prepare for the future now. I think you have to trust it. Barbie, that resonates. I know we've talked about being patient, and learning to trust myself is huge. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. Good morning, Von Ray. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Next question comes from Nalini. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. What does the universe want me to know about being proactive in my present situation of should I stay or go? That's never easy. So how do you be proactive in that situation? You be open to the things that are going to help you figure it out. You be open to the messages from the universe. You be open to the messages from your own inner self, and you be open to the ways you're feeling. And I think the reality of the situation is ultimately you're going to go. You may not go now, but you'll go ultimately. And so how do we deal with that? To be, this is fine for now, but it's not for the future. How do you deal with that? Because that's what I think you're dealing with. Just saying. All right. Rose, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Your advice about magic and breathing in energy, and this was also in the newsletter. Yes. Your advice about magic and breathing in energy has highlighted why I feel so stuck. As an ex-hoarder who is letting go of my hoard, that's never easy. I see how hard it is to breathe my vision into being while surrounded by years of old stagnant energies symbolized by stuff. As I clean, I am very focused on the present, wanting to meet my future with my best strength. Will I do that? Oh, heck yeah. You're on it. You are doing it. You are doing the work. And none of this is easy, Rose. I mean, that's the other thing we have to recognize. You're doing this, and it is not easy, and you're showing up for it every single day. So good for you. That is good. And yeah, you're doing it. You are healing. You are getting over stuff. You are doing what you need to do, and you are doing it well. I imagine that none of this is easy, but it is taking you exactly where you need to go. So you just keep right on it, my friend. This is good, and it's good for you, and it's also horrifying in certain ways, but that's okay. Just do it and do what you have to do, and it will be fine. I promise, really. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your kind words. Thanks for being a member. Up next, Liz Harrison. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Wow, did it resonate? All right. We had an experience with one of my kids' coaches where we felt he was abusive and spoke out, to which nothing happened. Oh, we felt he was abusive and we spoke out, to which nothing happened. Okay. We removed our son from the team and let it go. Well, here we are 1 year later, and was just contacted by someone asking if we would be willing to speak again because he has been in a legal dispute and custody battle. I'm conflicted because we want nothing to do with the situation, but now I'm torn on the right thing to do. And the thing about the right thing to do, I mean, we could say, okay, morally, ethically, of course the right thing to do is to speak out against this person. See, I didn't swear there. I almost did. But I didn't. I think I've used up my swears for the live here, I think. Anyway, Of course, technically, that would be the right thing. But I'm going to say we have to look at the whole picture. And what is going to be right here is going to have to be weighed by what are the needs of the family? What are the needs of you? What happens if you do this? There's so much here. So let's just look. If you do this, if you speak out, you will be making a difference. And this time something will happen. What is the cost of speaking out? I don't think it involves that much. I don't think it involves that much revisitation. Do you have the bandwidth to do this? Hardly. Hardly. You're limited. You're limited in what you can do. So that's what we come into. Given the limitation, the energetic and time limitation that you have, are you best to say yes and do this, or say no and don't? Man, I can make an argument either way. There is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong here. So, what are you going to feel best about doing? Honestly, I think right now you would rather not deal with it. You would rather let it go and just move forward. And if that's what you want to do, that's okay. Maybe there's something you can do where you can write a letter and say, this is my letter. I've got it notarized. So, this is, it's an affidavit. Write an affidavit and be done. You could do that. Or you could do nothing at all. It's okay. You don't have to do anything here. All right. Oh, Katie Kondo, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the generous super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Who is up next? We just did Liz. We're up to Ben. Hello, Ben. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only. No, you're not doing that. You're being a moderator. Oh, but you did use members only emojis too. So yeah, you did. You did do that. And you're a moderator. So thanks for all the things, Ben. We appreciate it. Love the newsletter this week. Thank you. It fits perfectly with where I'm at right now, trying to be proactive in building something, but constantly getting taken off course as I'm too busy reacting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now your question, right now I'd give myself a D for proactive and an A, that looks like an A plus, for reactive. Oh no. How can I bring some balance so I can put my focus back on my project? Right. How do you do that? I think the problem comes, and correct me if this sounds wrong, but I think the problem comes because there is a part of you that is always feeling like whatever you're doing, you're feeling like you should be doing the other thing. Okay, I'm working on this right now, but this needs to be done too. This needs to be done too. And so I feel like you're having a hard time giving yourself brain space to do all the things. So I think it's going to be about prioritization, figuring out what rises to the level of I need to handle this right now and what you can wait for, and not feeling bad about having to prioritize and compartmentalize to get everything done. I think there's a part of you that is always feeling like whatever you're doing, you should be doing something else, or it should be going quicker, or whatever. And if you could get out of that process and just be doing what you're doing without judging yourself, I think it'd be better. Let me know what you think. Does that make sense? Liz, yes, thank you. I'd prefer not to get involved. I think you're fine not getting involved. I think that's good. And Rose, thank you for your feedback. That's what I needed to hear. Letting go is hard, but enlivening. Yeah. The present is already getting better. There you go. All right. So now, who is next? It's Adrija. Thanks for being here. Can you please pull cards? Where are the areas I'm being reactive, proactive, and present? Okay. So I think at work, you can be very reactive when people aren't nice to you or when people don't see the good work you're doing, and that can be hard. I think you are trying to do a good job of being proactive socially when it comes to friends and meeting people and love life and stuff. I think you're doing a good job being proactive. And how are you doing at being present? I think that's the hardest. I think it's the hardest for all of us, though, not just you. I think it's the hardest for you to just be okay in the moment and be present where you are doing what you're doing. We all need to work on that, but that's what you need to work on. And how do you work on it? Just be that. Just embrace that. I mean, and this is where tarot can be so funny, because it's like, how do I do this thing? Oh, just by doing this thing. Yeah, there it is. So you just have to be in that moment, be like the fool, and be in that moment, recognizing that life is an adventure, and just be on the adventure. All right. Jackie Masters, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Great newsletter, Christiana. Just what I needed to read. Thank you so much. Next up is Karen Hendershot. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. There are certain people that I cannot remove from my life no matter how I try. That makes me reactive. Understood. What does the universe have to say for me to become less reactive? Well, I think it's in the word. I think it's in the actual word. Because no, you cannot remove these people, but neither must you react to them. I feel like that these particular people, there's already a pattern where like they jump and you say, hi, how high? I think that's happening, and you may be grumbling about it and you may not like it, but you're still jumping. And maybe what needs to happen is, yeah, those people are there, but you don't need to be how you've been with them and for them. You can change that. So you don't need to react to them the way you did. And I think that's the key. Ben, yes, that makes sense. I feel it's that age-old problem of if someone wants me to do something for them, I put that as a higher priority than what I'm trying to do for myself, so my stuff can wait. Yeah, I need to try to get out of that mindset. Because I know you, Ben, and anything you're doing at the end of the day is going to help others. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Hey, Caroline McLaughlin, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Okay. Next up, Vaishali. I didn't understand the topic. Understood. But would like to have cards on today's topic. I can absolutely do that. And yeah, no, it's a weird topic. I get it. Okay, so in what ways are you being overly reactive? I feel like you're hard on yourself. I feel like you could stop being so hard on yourself. What about proactivity? I feel like you have anxiety when you look to the future. So even though you're being proactive towards your future, you're worried about it more than you need to be. And being present in the moment, that's hard too, because you are so focused on where you have to go and where you're going and what you have to do. So this is not the easiest time of your life, but that's because you are actively preparing for the future right now. You are actively being proactive. That's true. I feel like if you have time to be able to get away a little bit, to take an hour, 5 minutes, a day, a weekend, whatever, and just be able to breathe. And like, I think you need to kind of go to your happy place. I don't know if that's a cafe, the woods, the beach, a friend's house. I have no idea, but you need to just go to your house or some great place that you enjoy being in and just breathe and be in the moment. And that would be a very good thing for you as you deal with everything else you're dealing with. And honestly, don't worry so much about the future. And don't be hard on yourself for things in the past. I know, easier said than done, but there you go. Okay. Von Ray, here's your question. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. May I have some advice on being reactive and being in the present? I always feel as if I'm proactive in the things I want. I agree. Still waiting on some of that luck we spoke about in January. I understand. But it's only the beginning of March, just saying. Okay, so being reactive, I mean, Honestly, I think you do a really good job when things aren't going your way. You do a really good job trying to get out of that and stay positive. Like, you may be reactive in the moment, but then you do a good job coming out of it. I think you do well there. And when we look at just staying present, I think it's hard to stay present because there's things about your life that you want to change. But to enjoy a present moment, to enjoy one thing that is well done, to enjoy a beautiful sunrise, whatever, to just take a moment and be in gratitude, I think would be very, very helpful for you. And do we see that look coming anytime soon? What we see you doing is working, and eventually, yes, it is coming. Oh, Vaishali, you are quite welcome. Adrija, you're very welcome as well. Okay, here we go. I am scrolling down, making sure I don't miss anybody, which I just tried to miss a bunch of y'all, just saying, but I fixed it. Okay, Caroline McLaughlin, you're up next. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. I can be very reactive at work when I feel things are not fair or mistreating the elderly. I reacted not as I would have liked yesterday morning. We've all been there, I understand. I felt it was warranted, but was it, or was I overly sensitive? What a great question. And man, I know that feeling, been there, done that a million times. Just yesterday? No, seriously. I get it. I totally understand. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. The situation yesterday morning. Your reaction to this situation, it probably was warranted, but you wish you had reacted better. It was appropriate to react, but I think you're working on learning how to react better. So I don't think it was bad. And when we look at other people involved, whatever, I think it's fine. I don't think you were terrible. I don't think you need to overthink this too much. But I do think going forward, you need to be able, as I do, to recognize when you're being reactive, take a minute, and then figure out the reaction that is your best reaction. So let the internal reaction stay internal, and then be more proactive about what, if any, your reaction externally is going to be. Try that. Try that. Okay. Here we go, scrolling down. Gemini Sun, so good to see you. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. What are some specific ways the cards suggest I can heal even while still in challenging situations so I can fully enjoy life's happy moments? Good question. Healing? I think the best way to heal right now is to be a good friend to yourself and be really gentle with yourself and recognize that you are working really hard to do what you need to do. When we look at this challenging moment, it is challenging and it is very busy, but you are doing what you need to do. Like, I feel like your actions are really good, and so you should take comfort in that, because I think you know that too. And then, how do you enjoy the moments? This is the hard part. It is really, really hard right now to enjoy the moments because there are so many things that are worrisome. And I think what you have to do is breathe several times a day. Just breathe, take a moment and look around and say, okay, what's good here? And let me acknowledge it. Like, I think you've already got a list of all the things that are hard right now and all the ways you have to deal with that. See what you can do about keeping that same list about what's good. Even if it's just, I like the weather today. It could be that simple. That, I think, could help. Okay. Carolyn B., so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. I'm working on several projects right now. Am I on the right path? Some yes, some no. There are some things that I think are making sense in this picture and some things aren't. And I think you will figure that out as you go along, and there will be success here because you'll figure out where you want to put your energy. All right. Melissa Grasso, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We really appreciate you, and thanks for using members-only emojis. Okay. You talk about being present in the moment. When I was at the yoga retreat, I had no Wi-Fi, so we were totally off the grid. It was wonderful to truly disconnect from technology and connect to nature and our fellow travelers. I was able to meditate easily, had super intense dreams, and felt my intuition ramping up. I was in the flow. Now I'm back and I'm facing the realities of a technology-driven world. How do I find... Oh, this is brilliant, man. Don't we all? This is brilliant. Now that I am back and am facing the realities of a technology-driven world, how do I find that same state of present moment? Right, because that's what we need to do. You know, we have to be so careful not to let our devices drive us. We have to drive them. So how do you do that? I think you have to have moments where you disconnect, where you're not available. And you know, it's hard. Like, okay, I'll speak personally now because I have the same problems, right? And having my own business, I try to be as available as possible. And my phone is the way, you know, because everything comes in there. And so, but I still want to bring my phone places if I want to take a picture or whatever. Now, I do have a second phone. And what I'm trying to do is wean myself so the phone that like no one has the number to, that's the number I'm going to take to events so I can just take pictures and all of that. But I think in reality, what we have to do is say, off the clock, not available for that right now. And so, yeah, you may have your phone with you, but I'm not going to look at that right now. I am not doing that. And so I think it's about being stricter with yourself as far as when you are responsible to read your texts, respond to emails, scroll social, whatever. When is that an okay thing to do? And when must you discipline yourself to put that away and do the yoga, take a walk, do something else, and be present with the real world, not the technological world. So you're right, it's an issue, and I have the issue too, and I'm saying this to myself as much as I'm saying it to you. It's about discipline. It really is. All right. Baby Cakes, good to see you. Am I on the right path, and is my pushing and grinding going to pay off? Let's see. Oh my, I believe, yes, very much so. And it's going to pay off in beautiful ways. Yes, 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 absolutely. Hey, Smile Soul 20, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Fedborn, good to see you. Thanks for your kind words. Valuable and beneficial newsletter. Yay, thank you. I appreciate. Okay. Scrolling back. Joyce Ocean. Why would I schedule a meeting during the live? Okay. So from my perspective, I have come to the end. And I'm wondering, Katie Kondo, I think we've got a typo in your super chat, which I'm very grateful, not grateful for the typo, but grateful for the super chat. And so I feel like you're looking for, like there may be a reading here and I don't see what it is. Smile Soul 20, I don't see your question. And Joyce Ocean, I don't see a question for you. So for the three of you, I'm just going to do, unless I see questions pop up, I'm just going to do that past, present, future, really looking at this for you. And beyond that, it is last call for readings, y'all. And if I accidentally skipped you, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. So go ahead and reiterate those questions. If you're just here for the first time, get your questions in. So Katie Kondo, Reactive. Well, the hard thing is you're internally reactive, but externally, there's not a whole lot of ways you can react to things, which is really limiting and hard. But you've been angry, and you have every right to be angry. The anger is appropriate. Good ship lollipop. I'm still here. If you want to ask a question, go ahead. I feel like it's okay that you react to things. Like, that's what I want to say. And if other people don't like it, it's kind of their problem. That's really what I have to say to that. About being proactive, I think you're doing a fabulous job being proactive and must continue. And being present, like, you're so good at being present. It's not fun right now, though, because you're not like really happy with what's going on in the present. But you're good at all of this stuff, and you're doing what you need to do to make things work. Jackie Masters, here we go. Okay, and Febborn, yes, I'll do you as well. Okay. Excuse me. So, Jackie Masters. In terms of reactivity, I think you react to a lot and you feel hurt a lot when no hurt is intended. And I think you need to work on that. Being proactive, I think historically you've limited your possibilities and now you're working on not doing that. And being present, I think you're actually pretty good at that. You're good at being present in the moment. So well done. Okay. Febborn. Reacting to things from the past, you are in a huge healing process regarding all of that right now. Being proactive for the future, you have no choice. You're doing that right now. Being present in the moment is causing you a lot of anxiety. Try to find gratitude for the things that are good so you can give yourself some peace. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for Smile Soul 20. Reactive? I think sometimes when other people are mean to you, it makes you feel bad about yourself. Don't let mean people make you feel bad about yourself. Proactive, I think you're doing a good job figuring out how to be proactive for yourself. And present, you are excellent at being in the present. That's a thing you're really, really good at. So, well done. All right. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone else that I obviously missed. So I am going to say that I hope to see you all at Global Tarot Circle tonight, 7 p.m. Good ship lollipop. I don't have a question yet, but I love your channel. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate your being here. And again, 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, Global Tarot Circle. That is our online tarot meetup. We read for each other. I hope you join us. The link is already up. I'll be back tomorrow at noon with your Friday weekly wrap-up. Your tarot scopes for March are up, so make sure you check those out. And of course, there's plenty of links in the description, so follow those links and do those things. Special shout out to those people who helped out with super chats and super stickers today. And of course, to our members, our moderators, and to all of you. I really appreciate all of you. I will look forward to seeing you soon, and I will hope to see you